Hey everyone, it's me, Kaylee, and I am back here today with a new video. If you've never seen my face before, I'm gonna go ahead and take these off because I think they're transitions, so it might be dark. So sorry about that. But hey, I am here today to basically talk to you guys. I'm sorry, it's really cold in here. I mean, it's really hot in here. Basically, I am here today to kind of share with you guys my story. I don't want this to come off as me, I don't want this to come off as me being privileged, because I am, obviously, I'm white. And my parent, I didn't come from a poor background. I grew up with, I had money. I never had to worry about where my next meal was coming or anything like that, and I was able to dance. So I don't want this to come off like I am sad and woe is me and I hate my, I hate my life, and I wish, I don't want that to come off as that, and I know it can. So I just wanted to go ahead and preface this now. This is not how I feel. This is how my mental illnesses make me feel. And if you don't have it, you might not really understand that, but I'm just gonna hopefully shed some light on mental health and hopefully kind of tell you guys my experience with it in a way that you haven't really thought about before. Or if you haven't, then maybe this will resonate with you a little bit more. And just know you're not alone, because that's the most important thing ever. So, the first time I ever had a panic attack was when I was 14 years old. Sorry. I probably will cry. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you guys now, because I've written down my story. I've never said it out loud though, so I may get really emotional, I'm sorry. But basically oh God, okay, so I was 14 years old the first time I ever had a panic attack. I literally thought I was dying. I didn't know what was happening. I was on the phone with my best friend at the time, and I was like, my hand won't stop shaking. It will not stop shaking. I don't know what is wrong with me. Am I dying? I literally thought I was having a heart attack at the age of 14. And I was by myself, home alone by myself, and I went upstairs and I was just pacing back and forth because I didn't know what to do. I literally thought I was about to die. And I wasn't in control of my body. It was something else. And that was probably one of the scariest moments of my life. And then it happened the next day and the day after. It happened for a month straight. And I would just have these, what I now know are panic attacks and anxiety attacks, but I would just have them every single day. And I didn't know why. I don't remember a lot of my childhood at all. I can tell you in second grade, I was thriving. I had the best time of my life. I can still recite to you a poem in Japanese from second grade. And I'm almost 24 years old. I don't really know why that is. I remember a lot from my second grade year. I couldn't tell you really anything about anything else in my childhood. And I don't know if that's because, I'm sure it has something to do with me blocking out my depression and my anxiety. But I really don't remember a lot from until the age of 18. If you guys are gonna play, go outside. I'm not dealing with this shit. Yeah, so I really don't remember a lot until the age of 18, I guess, or like my senior year of high school, I remember. That's about it. I can tell you what my first memory was. It was, wow, I'm alive. That was on my 3rd birthday. That's about it. That's all I got. So yeah, so that was my experience with that. Then it got to the point where I would only have anxiety attacks or panic attacks when I got mad. And in particular, this is my senior year. In particular, is with this guy who I doubt he's watching this, but if he is, he knows why. He knows it's him. I don't necessarily remember why I was having them because of him, but I just remember it's because of this one guy. And we weren't like romantic or anything. It was just platonic, strictly platonic. But I remember that, and like I think that really, I don't know why I had it. I kind of knew what it was then, but I wasn't sure. I then went to a psychiatrist and was diagnosed with mild depression, but I lied a lot on the test, and I also don't think that it was really known how depression, like obviously it was known like what depression is, but nowadays we have so much, like everyone's so interested in psychology and studying what depression is and mental health. It's almost trendy, which is honestly sick, because having depression and anxiety is not trendy. It's not fun. I would not want to have this if I didn't have to. I also wouldn't wish this on anyone else because it sucks. Like, it really sucks. I don't know why people want to act like they have it. It's not fun. I think some people just really want attention, and seeing that people with mental health issues get more attention, they're like, oh, I just have such bad anxiety. I just don't know what to do with. But no, you are inflicting it on yourself. Anxiety attacks and panic attacks are not you inflicting stuff on yourself. It is a trigger. So if you are out here, this one girl comes to mind, but if you are out here and you are racist and you are saying racist things and it comes back to bite you and you do not apologize for it, that is not an anxiety attack. You triggered that yourself. You are just trying to get people's sympathy, and that's not okay. And I will never think that that is a panic attack or anxiety because you did that for yourself. And that just really, like, when people try to use mental health and, oh my god, I was just going through such a hard time, like that's why it's just really, no, you cannot inflict mental health on yourself. Like, if you do something and people criticize you, yes, getting death threats, okay, that I can understand why you would get sad because of that. But like, you also have to own up to it a certain amount. Obviously, it's never okay to send death threats to someone or to hate on someone, but if they are sitting there and they are critiquing you in a constructive way, maybe it's not the most constructive way, but if they're like, hey, that's not cool, you have to respect their opinion, and you have to realize if it is something genuinely not okay, you need to know, and you need to realize that you've done something wrong and you need to own up to your mistake. Because yeah, have I made mistakes? Yes, I have. And if someone were to call me out on them, I would be like, okay, all right, I can see it from where I was coming off. I don't think I've really ever been racist, and if I have, and maybe I have, because I have grown up in a suburb with strictly mainly white people. I do have a mixed dad and sister. Obviously I'm not mixed, but just because I have them as my family doesn't mean that I'm not racist. I don't really understand how you can hate someone because of the color of their skin. I don't necessarily agree with that. Have I used all the correct words? all the time. No. I'm sure I've said some things that were not okay. Now I'm educated and I can look back, and if I did say those, I know that they weren't okay, and I know from now on I'm not going to make those mistakes, because that's a part of life, is living and growing and learning. So I don't know why I got on that tangent. Oh yes, but yeah, that's not what mental health is. Sorry, that is not what mental health is. Mental health is being scared to call someone on the phone, being scared to make your own doctor's appointments or therapy appointments when you ran out of medicine. That's what some type of anxiety is. Depression is literally not being able to get up from your bed because you are so, you don't even know why you can't get up. You just can't. And you just bedridden. You sleep all freaking day and you have no idea why. And the thing is, when I was growing up, I tried to talk to my parents, and it's not their fault, because it wasn't really, mental health isn't as widely known about as it is now. It was known, people knew what depression was, and obviously suicide was a thing. Shouldn't be, but it was a thing. But it was people, this is so freaking stereotypical and not true at all. But whenever I was growing up, it was people who cut themselves, but they cut themselves for attention, and they posted it and they showed everyone, and it was all for a game of attention. And that's what I thought mental health was. And people said things to me, and I can't remember a lot, but I can remember what people said to me. I remember this girl told me I was anorexic and then I was fat at the same time. So, that's very, and she was calling me anorexic because of how skinny I was. And I was like, okay, first of all, luckily I've never struggled with anorexia or an eating disorder that I know of. I think I might be a binge eater, but I have not been diagnosed that. I don't want to say that. So there's that. Anyways, but me being called anorexic and also fat, that's not me inflicting something on myself. That is not my actions hurting other people. That was other people hurting me. And the thing is, you cannot control how your words affect other people. Once you say them out loud, they're there. And you, unfortunately, if you say, oh my gosh, you're so dumb, and you're totally kidding or something, but let's say that person is oh my god, I'm so dumb, and just freaks out about it, and takes it to heart, and because of that, this is very extreme, but they hurt themselves. Yeah, it wasn't necessarily your fault that they hurt themselves, but you also had that effect that you didn't intend to cause. So we also have to be very careful of our words, and you can't just expect everyone to understand when you're joking. I know I've had plenty of times where I've said something, and I have to go back and be hey, I just want you to know I was totally joking, or I was totally stressed out if I was working. I was totally stressed out. There's no hard feelings. I just want you to know that I wasn't trying to be rude. So there's plenty of times where I have to go back, and I still, to this day, I have to tell people, hey, I'm sorry, and be the bigger person, because at the end of the day, I would never want my words to hurt someone I've been hurt before. And if they do, the only thing I can do is try to make it up to that person and let them know that that is not what I ever intended them to do. And I think a lot of it has to do with you need to be socially aware and speak on it before it gets to that problem. Because if you're like, oh my god, you're so dumb, and then like walk away, but then you're like, oh wait, like I hope she really doesn't think that she's dumb, and then go back and tell them, hey, like you are not dumb at all, like I just was joking, I'm sorry if that came off rude. But it also isn't that person's job to tell you that you hurt their feelings, but they also won't know. So it's very sticky. But my biggest thing is you should let people know if you're hurting. You should let people know if you think you might have messed up. Admit it. Go ahead and admit you're wrong, because trust me, if you go ahead and admit it right then and there, it's gonna be so much better than having to backtrack on it. So yeah, so that's that. I wrote everything down because I thought I was gonna ramble, and I did. So I am diagnosed with social anxiety and depression. I was diagnosed with social anxiety recently, but I was diagnosed with severe depression when I was a sophomore in college. And I would literally, and I had anxiety too, but they didn't say exactly what type of anxiety it was. But whenever my freshman summer, I used to have a panic attack every single day, at least once, if not twice or more. And there were times where and it was because I wasn't on medication. But there was times when I literally, nothing would be wrong. I would just get overstimulated, or I don't really know what happened, but I would just I would have to have one. It almost was like a drug, like an addiction. Like I had to have a panic attack. And I would literally feel with my anxiety that like people would just keep asking me questions, and I would feel like I was literally in a zoo and I was an animal just being like thrown, like, or a fish in a fish tank, and they're like, do something, what you doing? Like, you know, like just like kids tapping on glass, and like I just freaked out. And I think that no one should ever feel that way. It's hard to feel like you are not in your body and you can't do anything about it. You can't control yourself. So after that, I was then diagnosed with social anxiety, and I got on the right medication, and now I'm on a bunch of medication. I don't necessarily know if I should be on, I'm just very emotional, and there are a lot of times where I wish, mainly like every day, I wish I wasn't on medication. I really hate it. Because if I don't take it, I can tell. If I don't take enough of it, I can tell. I start feeling side effects. And that is something I'm gonna have to do probably for the rest of my life. And that is really hard to have to admit that, because I might pass it to my children. Like, how am I gonna have children if I'm on such high dosages of antidepressants, you know? And obviously I want to adopt and I want to foster kids, but like I kind of wanted to have a kid on my own, but now I'm like, I don't know, because I don't want to pass what I feel on to someone else. So it's a very challenging situation, and it's very tricky, and there's a lot of stuff that I haven't thought about. I'm only 23 right now, and I'm single, so I don't know why I'm freaking out about this stuff, but here we are. Like, it's stuff like that where I still think about it, and there's times even when I'm on all of my antidepressants, and I just feel so bad, and I don't know why. I just want to, like, I've wanted to kill myself, and I've been on medication. And it's just because you get sad. You still have, medication is not something that's gonna treat, like, it helps cope with your anxiety and depression, and it helps with your chemical imbalancement, but it does not treat your chemical imbalancement. It is an incurable disease, basically. unless you only have like, if you have severe depression and anxiety and it's like a chemical imbalance in your brain, you're always gonna have it. And it sucks, to be quite frank. I'm not in a traumatic situation or anything, but last week I literally sat in my car, and I would never kill myself. I would never. I have my personal beliefs on it, and I just think it's a very selfish thing to do. And I know what it's like to be in that situation. Have I had suicidal? Yes, I've had a lot of suicidal thoughts. Have I attempted it? Yeah. But I'm so glad that I'm here. And there's a lot of times where I wanted to die last week. And I don't even know why. And that's the scary part. And to sit here and people just treat mental illness like it's not a big deal, or it's not important, just kills me. Or like they're like, oh, you just want attention. No, I don't fucking want attention. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want attention. I don't care about the attention I get. My goal with this video isn't for me. I don't care about myself, because the fact of the matter is, I know when I was in my car and I was wishing I was dead, I knew I was not going to kill myself. I knew it was my depression. I can associate, because I've been struggling with this so long. I've been struggling undiagnosed, unmedicated for so long. I can tell when it's my anxiety and when it's my depression. Hey, doggies. Hey. Can you guys get out, please? Okay. But, Emmy. So yeah, I've had it for so long, so Emery, I can't do this when you're right here. Emmy. Stop singing. Emmy. You need to calm down. But Emmy, go somewhere else. If you all want to play, you can play, but go somewhere else. I'm trying to record something. I can't have you singing in there. Emery. Sit. Good girl. But my thing is that I have dealt with it for so long that I can tell when it's my anxiety thoughts or when it's my depression thoughts. But a teenager who's maybe 16 and is already going through puberty, having to be at high school, doesn't really know if they have any friends or not, and is dealing with all these feelings that they don't know what it is, that's hard. That's who I wanted to make this video for. I don't care about me anymore, because obviously, like I said, I've dealt with it. I've dealt with it at 10 years, for literally 10 years at this point. And the fact of it is that there's still so many undiagnosed people, because therapy is so freaking taboo and it's so expensive too. And people who are like, who try to do like the BetterHelp and stuff like that, you don't know if you're going to a license, they can't prescribe you medication. So let's say you have severe depression and severe anxiety and you need to get on a treatment ASAP. They're not on BetterHelp. BetterHelp cannot even guarantee that they're licensed. That is the issue with BetterHelp and companies like BetterHelp, is because you don't know who you're getting. You don't know if you actually can get your medication. If you can find someone and do your research and know that they are licensed in your state and that they can actually prescribe you medication, that is great. That is fine. But to sell therapy to people who, I mean, if you just need someone to talk to, that's one thing, but if you need medication, it's a completely different other thing. And it's ridiculous how expensive it is. And obviously I understand why it's expensive. It's a very specialized thing, but I mean, do I have an answer to it? No. Do I wish I did? Yeah. I mean, I think I know the answer, but I live in the United States, so. But it just sucks. And I think that's my whole point is I just don't want people who think that therapy is taboo. It's not taboo. It sucks. You don't have to tell people you're going to therapy though. Just tell them you're going. I mean, don't lie to them. Just say you have a doctor's appointment. They're not going to ask you what doctor. They're not. I promise you, they're not. They're going to be like, okay. And that's all you got to do. And then, I mean, that's all you got to tell your friends, you know? So that is my point to the story, I guess. If you ever need anything, I mean, feel free to message me on my Instagram. I don't think you can message on YouTube anymore, but you can message me on my Instagram. If you just need someone to listen to you, even if you just need to rant to someone and you don't need them to reply to you, I'm good for that too. So I just want you guys to know that if you do if you have anxiety or depression and you don't feel like you feel like you're alone, you're not. I know it kind of sucks to hear that, but hopefully from someone with social anxiety and depression, severe depression, this helps you guys and relates to you guys a little bit more. And I am a functioning adult sometimes. I do live by myself and I have a typical 8 to 5 job. You will make it. You might not think you will in the moment, but everything happens for a reason, and that freaking sucks to say, but it does, and it will get better. It sucks, and it's gonna suck for a long time, but there is always a light at the tunnel. And before I leave, I just wanna, if you have been doing good and then you just fall back into this rut and you're just sad and you don't know why, I want you to know that you thought you were doing good. How long did it take you to get sad again? Has it been months? All right, well, that's better than when it was days. That's better than when it was hours. Life is not all gonna be happy. There's gonna be ups and downs. It's just life. And it sucks, but it's just life. But you have done so much progress and you don't even realize it. And that's also something hard to admit. But once you do, and it still sucks to be there in that position, in the sad position, but knowing how strong you are is the first part. And that is what I want to leave you guys with. It's been 30 minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and go. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I hope you guys really enjoyed this. And if you did, like it, comment down below. Again, message me on Instagram if you need someone to rant to and you don't want me to respond. Just literally put, don't respond to this, please. And I will not respond to it. I won't even read it if you don't want me to. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye!